So, next stop after you turn in your applications, they're going to call you. They want to give you a job, but you have to come in for an interview. So, of course, you're super nervous, so we're going to go from start to finish what you are going to do for your interview. Hit it, maestro. First time I'm using a Prezi, I'm very impressed with myself. So, thank you. Okay, so as soon as they call you, first thing, fresh outfit. You cannot go in jeans and a t-shirt, even if you're looking to get a job at a retail store, fast food, it doesn't matter. You want to dress to impress. You want to do the best outfit you can put together. These are just, examples. So guys, no jeans, no shorts. I'm sure you guys have a pair of slacks somewhere deep in your closet. Gray, black, basic colors. Hi, Missouri. We're learning how to get a job. Okay, so once you put your outfit together, that's the first step. Next. Okay, so whoever decides to call you, the most important thing, the first thing you want to do is you want to learn about the company or the college that you're going to interview for. You don't want to show up somewhere. I mean, I know you turned in an application, so you probably know a little bit about it, but you don't want to show up somewhere and just not know anything about it. I work at Costco and I help them with their interviews. I'm a supervisor, so I help them with their interviews during the process when we hire for seasonal. And so many people come in and they're like, oh, I've never shopped at Costco. This is my first time here. And we're like, okay, well, you probably could have gone on the internet and saw about Costco a little bit before you came in to have an interview here. So find out about the company. Also, know where you're going. Get directions before the day of the interview. I use my navigation on my phone all the time, and I'm sure you guys do too, to get everywhere. But it's possible that your phone is going to break, it's going to fall, it's going to slide under the seat, you're not going to have your phone, you're going to be panicking, you have to get to your interview, it's the end of the world, and so get the directions before you go. Get them the old-fashioned way, go on MapQuest, call the place, get the cross streets, whatever, but make sure you have a backup plan for directions. Also, arrive at least 5 minutes early. That's what we tell people. Like if we tell them, your interview's at 3 o'clock, we ask them to be there at 2:55 anyways. But I'd say like closer to 15 minutes because the number one thing is you don't want to be late. If somebody's late to their interview at Costco, we automatically are like over them. They're not even an option to us anymore. We'll still interview them, but we write on the top, huge, late, like that's game over. Also be prepared, have a copy of your resume, even if you've already turned it in, even though you've already filled out your application, you still want to have an extra copy of your resume with you, and a pen. So many times people come to the interviews and they don't have any kind of writing instrument, and we'll say, oh, congratulations, we want you to start filling out the job information, we need your basic info, your name, and they're like, can we have a pen? And I'm like, really? You probably should have brought a pen to an interview. Also, clean up your Facebook page. No joke, the first thing we do, we go through the applications, we go straight on Facebook, and we check what they have on there. Most of the time, Facebooks are private, and that's fine, but we'll go on your Instagram, like we will dig to try to find what you were doing in your free time, and I agree, it's completely ridiculous and really silly, but these people, it's a lot of time and money to train someone at a new job, and they don't want to waste their time or their money hiring someone, training someone to just find out that they're out of control in their personal life. And also, your personal life will stay your personal life once you get a job, but before you get a job, they're judging you on who you are. So you don't want to mess that up. Okay, so let's review. How do we hide this?
So the next one?
No, hide, yeah. Oh, good job.
I'm
So good as my assistant. Okay, if your interview is at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, what time should you get there?
3:45.
3:30.
What is this? Everybody just... Yes, everybody's right. What'd you say, 3:30?
Yeah.
That's a little early. That might be a little bit like borderline harassment. The secretary might be like, okay, we'll just sit and stare at each other for 30 minutes. What do you think?
I think 3:45.
Very good. Now, it would be a good idea to get probably to the parking lot at like 3:30 and get yourself together in the car, maybe flip open your rear view, check your face, make sure you don't have anything in your teeth, but to walk into the place half an hour early might be a little early. Okay, what else did we go over? True or false, potential employees probably will look at your Facebook.
True.
Yes. They honestly will. I was a manager at Tan Factory. That's the first thing we did. And now that I work at Costco, that's like the second thing we do. First, we, thoroughly check their application because they're getting paid a little bit more, it's a little bit better of a job, it can turn into a career. So they're gonna go over your credentials and stuff, but they will check your personal life. Okay, you can turn it back on. All right, so you've done everything, you look great, you feel great, you're there on time, you're there early, you're going into the place. It's super awkward walking into the place unless you already know somebody. I hate that feeling. I hate going into a new place. But once you get that over with, the rest of the day is like a breeze. So you're gonna go in, the first person you see, if you're going into a store, if you're going into a restaurant, if you're going to interview for a college, even if this isn't a job, I mean, you're gonna go on a lot of different kinds of interviews. The first person you see, introduce yourself, shake your hand, tell them your name, and tell them who you're there to see. Don't, hi, I'm here for an interview with, know the person's name that you're interviewing with. Also, after you're waiting, you've introduced yourself, you've done the scariest part, walking in, you've gotten through it, they say, oh, have a seat, wait a second, whatever, walk around. Once the person comes out that's interviewing you, be confident. You're awesome. They already picked you out of all the applications. They've already looked at your Facebook, you've already walked in, you've already done the scariest part, you already look good because you put together an awesome outfit, you're not chewing gum, you're not acting like an idiot, you're there, they love you, you're awesome already. So be confident in yourself. Look them in the eye. There's nothing worse than somebody doing an interview and them looking around the room, and it happens all the time. And I feel terrible for the people that are doing it because they don't know they're doing it, and it's not because they're, like trying to hide something. They're nervous, and so they're not looking you in the eye. Hopefully when you do your first, second interview, it'll just be with one person. Sometimes there's more than one person, and as the interviews go higher up at Costco, go ahead.
Oh, well, I wanted to know, do you guys notice because I do get nervous when I do job interviews, and I look at their forehead or their nose.
No, I can't tell the
I do
difference.
that. Okay.
That's what I do too. Like right now, I'm not looking at any of you. Just look at your head. No, yeah, that's. As long as you're looking at their face and you're being sincere, a lot of people get really nervous and they do the look down thing. And you should hire me because I'm very confident, I swear. They're like, no, you're not. So look up. Like I said, you're already awesome. You're already in great clothes. You're already on time. You're doing everything right. They already like you. So look at them when they're talking to you. And like I was saying, sometimes, hopefully there's just one person that you have to focus on, but if there's more than one, it gets a little bit more difficult. Just look around the room, don't look down, don't look up, don't be looking around like you really don't care about it. Okay, handshake. I think handshakes are so awkward. I hate doing them. I try to avoid them. I'd probably rather just walk in and hug them. That'd be a little bit more comfortable for me, but you have to do it. And God, assistant. You have to do it. I would practice with somebody before you go, like your friend. I know it's probably gonna sound lame, but I'm serious. You really should shake their hand, and it really is awkward if you've never done it before. Good job. Everybody turn to your partner and shake their hand. Good job, guys. What a good idea. So I was watching YouTube last night, and I've actually never watched a proper way to shake your hand, but apparently this part of your hand should meet that part of their hand, and it shouldn't be like this, which I always thought was good. I thought that was really firm, but it's a little too much. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have really, really bad, this is some stuff, but I have a really bad handshaking anxiety. I don't like hands.
Is it a germ thing?
Yeah, and so can I fist bump guys? So for me, I found most of the players are that's cool, I like you.
It might work, it might make you stand out. If somebody fist pumped me when I was interviewing at Costco, I've never had anybody fist pump me. I've had people do the awkward handshake like this. That's me. Are you asking me to dance? I don't know, maybe you could get away with a fist pump. You have a cool, unique outfit on, so I think that's your vibe. So maybe you could go with it. I don't know. If you're going to if you're interviewing to be a lawyer, maybe we shouldn't fist pump. But I think you'd be all right anywhere else. Okay, and then also, this was a tip that I actually learned, to wait until they offer you a seat to sit down. Like, introduce yourself standing up. There's probably gonna be a desk in between you, or like a space in between you. So you guys are gonna be standing up, and then the suggestion is wait till they offer you a seat to sit down. So they'll usually be like, okay, have a seat. And after I thought about it, usually when I am doing interviews at work, that is usually the case. They usually stay standing, and then it's kind of like awkward for a second. You're like, oh, sit down, and then it gets comfortable. And then the hardest part's over. You got there, you look good, you're on time, you shook hands, you had to use hand sanitizer. Apparently I have germs. I washed my hands this morning. Yeah. So anyways, and then these were just some things that I found, silly things. And a lot of people actually do this also, and I do it myself also. I always am using my hands.